Surah Al-Asr, one of the most popular surahs of the Quran, one of the most memorized surahs of the Quran. Imam Shafi Razillah Taranhu says that, as very rightly said, if the people consider this surah alone, it would be suffice for them the guidance. Even I remember the hadith or the narration of Ali Razillah Taranhu, who says that, if I am not wrong, Ali Razillah Taranhu says that if this surah is alone been revealed for man's guidance, that is itself is sufficient. Irrespective of revealing the entire Quran, if Allah decides to just send down this surah, this is itself is sufficient. Whenever we ponder about this surah in different lectures, we find different meanings or interpretation that is coming out, that becomes an eye opener for the Muslims. Imam Razi who says that the surah itself starts with Wal Asr, which means Allah is promising by the time. As such, if you see, at one point in time, man will realize that making money or being popular or being the richest one or being the influential has nothing to do with man. But after all, it's all, the life is, of course, it's time. And only in dunya, the world, we face this. Once we are out of this world, then there is nothing like a factor called time at all. So as such, if you want to calculate what is human life, it's time that he has. And Allah promises on that time, which means for a man, a particular set of time has been given for him to utilize and to capitalize, so that he is investing that time in order to gain a greater asset or reward in the Yawm al-Qiyam. And on promising on time, Imam Razi Azilatan says, one of the popular narrations of Imam Razi, he says that when I read, if you want to understand the importance of time, then it is as if, and that is, he remembers about an ice seller who was calling aloud for the attention of the people repeatedly in the bazaar, because he has brought some ice for him to sell, and it is a hot, scorching summer, and on a midday, the ice starts melting down. So he is calling out the people in the bazaar to come and to buy from him before the ice melts. If the ice melts, then that's all, he will have nothing to take back to his family. That's what he says. He calls out the entire crowd in the bazaar and says, have mercy on the one whose wealth is melting away. Hearing that, he was crying. I said to myself that, Wal Asr innal insana lafi khusr, which means there is an age limit that Allah has allotted for every individual. Either you use it purposefully or without purpose. Either you use it seriously or not, it has already started melting. And we have been left with only few days or few hours that has been left with us, and we are running out of time. Allah is promising. And if it is getting wasted and spent in wrong pursuits, then of course man will be in sheer loss, because he is not going to get it back, even in spite of spending crores of money. And there is nothing equivalent to a time. Allah promises on that and says an important matter, that verily insan, in general, man is surely in loss. Which means the man, he is not utilizing the time, a precious amana of that has been given to mankind, and he is using it with unproductive and for non-productive things. Then for such people, Allah says, surely he is in loss. Except for the people who have 4 characters. And this is a litmus test for a believer, and he used to keep checking whether he is adhering to these 4 points. And if he adheres to these 4 points, then as long as he adheres, he is on guidance and he is not in loss. What is that? First, he should be believing in Allah, and the person who do a lot of righteous deeds based on the belief. And third, it is not just sufficient that a personal level purification or personal level subservience to Allah is sufficient, because the world is very polluted. You should try to attempt to change the world. That's what the next ayah says. And enjoin each other with the truth. And Mufassirin explains a lot about the truth. Truth none other than with Islam, about different pillars of Islam and about different concepts of Islam. One should enjoin each other. And in the process of enjoying, in the process of conveying the message of Islam, you will face a lot of difficulty. And you will face a lot of comments. You will face a lot of opposition. People will blast you with anything. Irrespective of that, you continue to do it and enjoin each other, which means a person who conveys will also make mistakes. The other person should strive hard and have a thought of welfare for the other person, and enjoin each other with the truth. And in the process of enjoying and conveying the message of Islam and conveying the message of Quran, you will face a lot of problems. Then you should enjoin each other with sabr, which means the patience or steadfastness. Come what may, whatever be the opposition, you should remain steadfast in the process of following Islam, in the process of adhering to the principles of Islam. And in order to do it, for example, if I have to remain on the straight path, the fellow friend of mine, my wife, my family, my nephew, my niece, my uncle should also think the same, or should help me to keep myself on the straight path. Similarly, I should also help the other people to remain on the straight path. And as long as you do it, you will remain on the path straight. And that is what Allah says. And only such people are making their life really meaningful, or utilize their time very perfectly. That this surah comes to an end.